With so many different platforms
TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube,
and their purposes evolving daily, navigating social media can be, well, complicated. Welcome to the Social Media Sucks podcast from Cubco,
Social media really sucks.
where we unpack the latest trends and help remove the suck from social media.
Well, I think that if you're not interested in creating content, you had a good tactic there. It was just like pay people to display your products.
Yeah.
Like, so if you have no capacity to create content, the first things you can do is literally just pay influencers to use your product and do product placement. Or if you've got a product that's already in the marketplace, start looking at who's already posting and see if you can repost stuff. So for example, Ocean Spray had a huge win
Yeah.
with Dogface 93 or whatever the heck his name is.
No, I think 240. No, 420.
Four-
Dogface
okay.
420.
That's even better. Okay, great name. Anyway, so they had they just tapped into it. They saw, okay, here's an opportunity. He's using our product. He's created a viral sort of trend.
Yeah.
Let's step on the gas and go hardcore into it. And they won. They literally won the day. They won the week. They probably won the month.
I still haven't seen any articles on like if their market shares actually went up or not. But everybody's just like the PR about it is so crazy.
I think you'll see
Yeah.
soon that their numbers went up quite big, right? So the Ocean Spray, if those of you aren't aware, basically this guy was skateboarding, looked like he was skateboarding on a freeway and just vibing to the Dreams song by Fleetwood Mac
Yeah.
and just drinking an Ocean Spray
In the sunset.
in the sunset, and it just went ultra viral. And then Ocean Spray basically tapped into it. They sent him a truck and they filled it with Ocean Spray, and they did some behind the scenes stuff. And then they filmed a commercial with him as well.
Yeah.
And then they also, I don't know if they did this, but then Mick Fleetwood, I think his first name
Fleetwood
is
Mac.
no, but I think his first name is Mick.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Mick Fleetwood. He, the drummer of Fleetwood Mac, who's like 80 years old now, he also did a version of the
Really?
video. Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
it was
so cool.
It was so fantastic, right? So
That's
they
nice.
had, and then Dreams went super also viral
Yeah, they
and like
got
got
the,
10 times streaming and just like became on the top of the charts again.
I also downloaded it again on my Spotify. So.
That's such a great song though, right? Like that's actually the best album ever made. Don't dispute it. Don't at me, okay? That's the greatest album ever made.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, but that's two things that you could do if you don't want to make content. What do you do if you want to make content, Andy?
If you want to make content, you start using the platform organically. And I think the interesting thing that you need to be very aware of there is that TikTok is very different to other platforms. You don't need 4K video. You don't need anything. You just need to be on the right path with your content. You need to be in the right place with knowing what your target audience wants and finds interesting. And I think you just need a phone to shoot.
So you mean by starting organically, just creating a channel and
Yeah.
just start putting content out there
Start
on it?
start experimenting. Don't be afraid to be bold. Don't be afraid to experiment with new stuff. Hop on trends. I would say that's a big thing on TikTok.
How can they do that?
Well, basically just go and
90 minutes a day on TikTok.
90 minutes a day on TikTok. Just
Spend 90 minutes.
no,
You'll see what's trending
no. I think
and
you can,
rinse, repeat.
you can basically just go to the search bar and also just look at like what's trending on the For You. Just look at like what are the most on the homepage of TikTok. You can also see like what are the trending challenges and hashtags. TikTok is actually, I think, doing a really great job at like keeping the momentum of these trends high. And actually, I think they are also catering what challenges and movements are currently taking or like at a time taking place on the platform. And I think they are always catering like something that you can hop on. I would say like in the beginning, I would say that try out anything you see interesting and relevant for your brand. And then in the future, try to be a little bit more strategic and try to look for the emerging trends where you still have a little bit of that blue ocean. And then
So something under I think a sweet spot that we found is something under 100 million views.
Yeah, something
Right,
like
that's
that.
something in there, because once it kind of that's still viral enough, but not super viral that you're like going to get lost in the ocean. But something under 100 million in the trends. But one thing that's, I think, important that you mentioned is how do you make it relevant for your brand? And I think that's what we found working well for our clients, is that when we find a trend and then twist it to fit with the brand that we're working with, it does really well, right? And you could say, well, is that unoriginal? Is that like, but actually that's what people find the most interesting. And I think that's all brands are trying to tap into culture. All brands want to be in the culture.
Yeah.
And TikTok represents that for a lot of brands, is that because the barrier to entry is low, because people are not expecting you to make culture. They're just expecting you to be a part of culture.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the difference, right? Like we were talking about, I don't know if everyone remembers the Got Milk campaign. Do you guys remember Got Milk?
I remember it.
You're too young.
Yeah.
Okay, but Got Milk was essentially a campaign to get people to drink more milk. And Got Milk literally became a cultural icon.
Yeah, it's still
Like,
a meme, I think.
Yeah, you still say like Got Milk, like that is a phrase. And that came out of advertising, right? And that became a cultural thing. And that's hard for brands to do. I think it's extremely difficult. You gotta do some serious tapping into what's going on in the world and really, really be up there, right? So, and to have a great advertising agency, wink, 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 to help you get there. And I think that with what TikTok represents is it's literally showing you the culture and saying, hey, do you want to be a part of this? You can. All you have to do is find your angle on this.
Play your role.
And play your role. And you don't have to go crazy with it. So I think it's a really good way of getting into the culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I would add to the point of organic content creation on TikTok is that you need to pay attention to frequency, because TikTok is such a hit or miss platform. Some of your videos will not get any traction, and some of your videos will randomly generate tens of thousands of views. That can actually be pretty significant if we are, for example, talking about a small or medium-sized business. And I think the way how the algorithm works, if you are willing to put out like a higher, or if you're willing to go with like a higher content frequency, maybe even posting up to 5 times a day, which is, I know, hard to do. I know it's hard to do, but if you are, for example, a small business, or if you are a standalone entrepreneur pushing, I don't know, a diary or like a specific type of notebook that you just designed. So now I'm talking to the small and medium-sized business owners. I think if you do that, like just do 2 or 3 videos whenever you have the time. Of course, when you don't have the time, don't swear about it. But I think just try to maximize the output in terms of content and see what will hit, because something will, and then you will suddenly see your product having 1 million views.
But doesn't it matter what kind of content you put out there? I mean, the frequency is one thing, but if you have to put 3 or 4 ideas out there, they can't be the same, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I also saw people deleting and reposting their videos to just keep their content frequency up, because they feel like the content was so good. And I'm part of some like insider TikTok groups, and just to keep my knowledge up to date. And some people actually like feel like, okay, this is a really good piece of content. For some reason, it didn't get the right traction. I'm gonna just delete it and repost it. And opposing to Instagram, where if you delete or edit one of your posts, you get some sort of a like a negative sentiment in terms of the algorithm. On TikTok, you won't get that. So you can easily just delete your content and re-upload it in a better time, or in a more, maybe you adjust it, or maybe you re-edit it, or maybe you just try to upload it with a different sound. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, change the text on it.
Yeah.
I think we see that a lot.
Watch the full episode on YouTube or listen to the full episode on your favorite podcast app.